Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rebecca Rice and I teach family photographers how to gain a life of financial freedom through thriving photography business. Today, we're covering my all-time favorite topic, and that is mini sessions. I'm going to talk you through some tips that you need to know to prep for your fall and Christmas minis this year. Don't forget to hit that like button on this video and subscribe to our channel so that you get notified every single week when new videos go live. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of all things mini sessions, I wanted to let you know about a free guide that I have available just for you guys. It's called the 3K Mini Sessions Blueprint, and it's designed to give you the step-by-step that you need to make your first $3,000 on a single set of mini sessions. Now, I'm not talking, a whole season of minis or even a weekend of minis. I'm talking about a set is like a 2 to 3 hour time block of mini sessions that if you've never made more than $3,000 on a single set, or you've never even run mini sessions before, then this guide is for you. So we have it linked in the description. Go check it out, and I know it'll be helpful for you as you're planning for your mini sessions. Okay, let's jump into my best tips for your fall and Christmas minis coming up. So when you're planning, the very first thing that you need to take into consideration is what themes or locations that you want to do. Photographers ask me all the time, do I have to have, props and this fancy setup to make mini sessions work for me? The answer is no, you absolutely don't. Now, is there a time and a place for props and a setup? Sure. But when it comes to fall minis specifically, I typically advise people not to use a setup because fall is a great time. First of all, everybody and their mom are wanting to get photos done for, holiday cards and things like that. So just choosing a beautiful location is a great way for people to get those updated photos that they can use on holiday cards, that it's not too themed, and it casts a much wider net for people. Also, if, maybe they don't want a holiday theme, they just want some updated pictures around their house, totally fine. I am one of those people that I believe that mini sessions are great to do in busy seasons. There are some people that will tell you that you should never do mini sessions in peak seasons because that's when everybody wants to do full sessions. I am a huge believer that you should be doing minis when everybody naturally is looking to get photos done because it's a much more bang for your buck, if you will, for your time, because mini sessions can be stacked together, which I'll talk about in just a second, but they're a lot more profitable unless you're making, upwards of $1,000 per full session, which I would say the majority of people are not. So if you're charging more in like the $200 to maybe like $500 range for full sessions, then mini sessions are going to be a lot more profitable for you. But I'll get to the structure in a second. Back to the location. So I look for just a beautiful location for my fall minis. I'll look for popular spots that people are wanting. As you do it more, you tend to have your favorites. And so we have the same about 3 to 4 locations that we do every single fall. Every year we'll kind of add 1 or 2 extra ones, but we always keep in the favorites that we know everybody wants to go to. So some things to keep in mind when you're choosing a location is you want someplace that's not overly crowded. Now, I know when the fall comes and there's a beautiful spot, lots of people want pictures. So you want the popular spots, but not overly crowded, because then it gets really difficult to bring mini session clients in and out. I also look for a location that has, good shade or good lighting, because you're going to be there for a few hours. The light is going to change. So I look for places that have a lot of open shade so that when I'm there photographing, then, the area is nice and shaded. The light doesn't change as much. So if you can find a spot with great open shade, that's a bonus. If not, find a place where the sun sets behind your client. That way, as the day is going on, as long as that light is behind your clients, then it's going to be fine. So that's, selecting your locations for the fall. Now, Christmas, I suggest doing more something along the theme route. Some really popular themes that I've seen are, of course, the red truck Christmas minis. If you can get a hold of a red truck, they're super popular. People love that. And, putting up a Christmas tree or some pillows and stuff in the back to make it really cute. It's a great setup. Another one that I see people do a lot is like an indoor studio Christmas mini, whether it's like pajamas and, you have a bed set up. That's really fun. Or some people like a little bit of more formal look. And so you can have a couch indoors where they can have, a fireplace or whatever, a formal living room look. Those always book really well. And then another theme that goes well for Christmas is tree farm. So if you have a Christmas tree farm near you, those go great because they're really, really easy. You don't need as much of a setup. You can get away with either just having a blanket, or if you want to bring a couch, you can bring a couch, or just, the Christmas trees around. It works really, really well. So choose your location, choose your theme, and that is the first step to getting started with your minis. The next step, or the next tip that I have for you guys, is to structure your minis for profit. Now, I kind of alluded to this a little bit before, but you want to structure your mini sessions in a way that they're going to be profitable for you. And so I always suggest that, I guess some things to keep in mind for mini sessions is that they are designed to be short sessions, so not longer than about 15 or 20 minutes. They're designed to be stacked in a time block on a date that you, the photographer, chooses at a location that you, the photographer, chooses. So mini sessions are not designed to be one-off sessions where anybody can book a mini session at any time. That's just not as profitable for you. So stacking your minis in a time block on a date that you choose at a location that you choose is the best way to go. Now, you have to, do your own cost of doing business and see what the profitable price is for you. I have a video and I'll link it below for how to price your photography, and it walks you through running your cost of doing business and things like that. But a good rule of thumb is if you're charging below $150, it's probably not profitable. And I have done the math for hundreds of photographers, probably thousands at this point, of photographers. I've helped them set their pricing, and that's the general consensus is anything below about $150 is just not profitable. And so you want to make sure you're charging enough. My sweet spot for mini sessions has been $285 for a 10-minute session and 5 images included. So take that as you will. You can adjust for your own area and your own business, but you want to be sure that you structure for profit. And I mentioned that I have 5 images included. Please, please, please don't include the whole gallery. If you include the whole gallery of images, you're giving away the whole cake. A mini session is meant to be a bite or a slice of the cake, just to give the clients a taste. If they want a full gallery included, they can book a full session with you. But because it's a mini, I suggest including about 5 images in your mini session, and then, deliver extras and upsell so that you can make more on the rest of the gallery. I'll talk about upselling a little bit later, so I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go to tip number 3. Okay, tip number 3 is to start advertising your mini sessions early. The biggest mistake that I see photographers making when it comes to their fall and their Christmas minis is that they just don't give themselves enough time, where they think, I can do mini sessions in 2 weeks from now and that'll be great. But the reality is it's going to take a lot longer than 2 weeks if you don't have this massive client base to really book out your minis. I suggest giving yourself 6 to 8 weeks to advertise so that you have enough time to book out all of your spots, because that's the goal here, is fully booked mini sessions. So give yourself plenty of time, literally pick a date on the calendar and count back 6 to 8 weeks, and that's when you need to start advertising. I do have a mini sessions playbook in my shop. My shop is linked in the description, so you can go check it out. But that mini sessions playbook is a step-by-step guide that tells you every single week leading up to your mini sessions what you should be doing. Photographers love it because it's a playbook. You just run the play. I've done all the thinking and the work for you. All you have to do is follow the checklist for the timeline from 8 weeks out all the way up to your minis, and even in the days following of what you should be doing. So you can check that out if you want more information about a playbook. So give yourself plenty of time to advertise. I promise it's worth it. You're not too far in advance, especially when it comes to Christmas minis. I'm actually recording a podcast in just a few weeks about Christmas in July and how I book out 30-something minis, Christmas minis, every year in July, and I don't shoot them till October. So be sure to look out for that podcast episode on the Business Journey podcast. Okay, let's go on to tip number 4 for successful fall and Christmas minis. Now, we've talked about the beforehand of what you do. Now, when you actually get to your mini session, I have a lot of people ask me, how in the world do you get everything that you need in 10 minutes or 15 minutes? Well, the secret is I use a posing workflow. Basically, it's an order of shots and groupings that I follow every single mini session so that I get every shot that I need with plenty of time. For me, I have done this workflow so many times that I know I can get every shot I need in about 7 minutes if the entire family cooperates. So that gives me a little bit of wiggle room, to play with kids and be flexible and stuff like that. So if you want to get a hold of my posing workflow for free, I actually have a free posing class that I'll link in the description for you so you can go check it out. And in that posing class, if you hang around till the end, then I give you the posing workflow for free. So you can go check that out. Okay, my last tip for successful fall and Christmas minis, I talked about it just a little bit before, but that is to upsell your full gallery. So you've shot your minis, you've edited all the things, now it's time to deliver your galleries. So for me, my minis include 5 images, and I deliver a gallery of about 20 to 30 images, depending on how good the session was. And so I deliver extras, and my clients are welcome to either download their 5 because they've already paid for it, or at that time they can purchase more. Now, I don't do in-person sales. I don't know about you, I just personally don't have time for in-person sales, and especially the volume that I shoot mini sessions. And so I don't do in-person sales, but I do upsell the full gallery. And the beauty of it is it happens automatically through emails. And so I've got a set of automated emails that go out that upsell this gallery, and my clients are able to choose. I use Shootproof for my gallery delivery system, and in Shootproof, I'm able to set up the gallery so that people can purchase additional images. Now, I set the purchase price at $65 per image, sets of 3 for $90, or the full gallery for $200. Now, I have tested every single pricing structure you could possibly think of. I've done super cheap, I've done way more expensive, and this is the sweet spot. I like to tell my photographers that just take my word for it. I've done the testing, I've done the experimenting. This is the price point that works the best. And I know that it can be sticker shock, especially if you're used to charging $10 per image. You're like, Rebecca, $65 per image? Yes, $65 per image, sets of 3 for $90, or the full gallery for $200. And that's on top of the session fee they've already paid. What it does is it encourages them to buy that full gallery. I'd say probably half of my clients buy the full gallery, which is awesome. So if you're not upselling, you're leaving money on the table. So I highly encourage you to upsell those galleries. All right, guys, there you have it. There are my best tips for photographing your fall and Christmas minis. If you have any questions at all, comment them below and I would love to help you. Mini sessions are literally my favorite. My students call me the queen of mini sessions, and there's a reason for that. And so I could talk about mini sessions all day. So if you have any questions at all, comment them here and I would love to help. That's all we got for you guys. So we will see you this time next week. Bye.